Listen up, gentlemen. There's a dirty little secret that most women don't want you to know. They can deceive you without even breaking a sweat, and chances are you've been blind to it. But today, I'm giving you the truth, raw and unfiltered. I'm about to reveal the 7 subtle tricks every unfaithful woman uses to slip under your radar. So, hit that subscribe button and like this video. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. And hey, drop a comment below telling me what city you're watching from. I'm dying to know. Behavior 1, emotional disconnection. Her heart is gone. You feel it, don't you? That subtle, creeping distance. She's physically there, but the warmth, the energy, the connection, all gone. It's as if you're in the same room, but it's like she's a million miles away. You start to notice it in the smallest things. Her smile doesn't quite reach her eyes anymore, and the conversations feel like she's checking boxes off a list rather than engaging with you. It's a dangerous shift, and you need to recognize it before it's too late. Here's the cold truth. Emotional disconnection is the first stage of infidelity. And this isn't always about physical cheating. Oh no, this is deeper. It's the emotional distance that comes first, the slow fade of affection, the withdrawal of the person you once knew. It might start with her being a little less attentive when you speak, then quickly escalate to her barely acknowledging you at all. Remember when she used to light up when you walked into the room? That spark is gone now. Her focus is no longer on you. Instead, she's lost in her phone, constantly texting someone else, someone whose name you don't recognize. Have you ever caught her laughing at something on her phone, only to look at you with a blank stare when you ask about it? And when you ask, what's going on? She gives you the same response. Nothing, I'm fine. But you know deep down, something is off. Something feels wrong. The worst part? She might not even realize she's doing it. For her, it could be just a friend, someone who gets her, listens when she talks, and offers her the emotional intimacy you've stopped getting. The dangerous part is that this emotional connection with someone else doesn't just happen overnight. It's a slow build. First, she starts opening up to him about things she used to share with you. Her dreams, her fears, her daily frustrations. They're all being poured into someone else's ear, and you're left with scraps. This is where things start to get tricky, because it's easy to dismiss these changes as nothing at first. But when she starts defending this new connection, protecting it like it's something sacred, that's when the betrayal has already begun. You're not crazy for noticing. Your gut, it knows something you don't want to admit yet. But emotional cheating isn't the worst weapon in her arsenal. Oh no, the next one is far more dangerous. And it's the kind of thing that'll have you questioning everything you thought you knew about trust. Stick around. Behavior 2. Secrecy. Her phone is off limits. There's something about a woman's phone that can drive you crazy, especially when it suddenly becomes a fortress. At first, everything seems fine. She leaves her phone lying around, never worried about who might see it. But then, out of nowhere, it becomes this locked, secretive object she guards with her life. You've noticed the shift. The phone that was once always on the table, screen facing up, now stays face down, glued to her hand. Have you ever tried to take a peek at her phone when she's in the bathroom, or away from you for just a minute? She comes back, and suddenly, she's defensive. "Why are you looking at my phone?" she snaps, as if you've violated her space. This behavior is something you need to pay attention to. When a woman starts hiding her phone like it's some kind of classified document, it's because she's hiding something, and it's probably not just a work email. At first, it might seem like she's just being private, but let me tell you, that excuse doesn't hold up for long. You might get the usual deflection. "Why do you need to see my phone? Don't you trust me?" But trust me, it's not about privacy. It's about the secrets she's keeping from you. A woman who's genuinely committed doesn't need to play defense when it comes to her phone. She's open, transparent, and relaxed about it. But a woman who's pulling away, she's protecting a piece of herself that no longer belongs to you. Let's get deeper into the signals. Have you noticed how she's suddenly more glued to her phone than ever? She responds to messages immediately, but always seems to be too busy when you try to connect with her. She might even make excuses like, "Oh, I've just got so much going on with work," or "My friends are blowing up my phone." But you can't shake the feeling that there's something else happening behind that screen, something she's not telling you. And what about when she's with you, but she refuses to let you even touch her phone? Maybe it's a simple question like, "Hey, who's texting you?" But she quickly changes the subject, or worse, gets angry at you for asking. This behavior isn't normal. It's a sign of something deeper. But the real kicker? When you start to notice her phone habits are only a small piece of the puzzle. The next behavior is even more sinister, and it might make you question everything you've ever believed about loyalty. Stay with me. Behavior 3, the sudden busy schedule. So now she's too busy for you. Funny how she never used to be, right? But suddenly, her calendar is packed. You used to spend evenings together, laughing over dinner, watching TV, or just enjoying each other's company. But now, she's always got something else to do. "I'm swamped at work," or "I have a last-minute meeting," become the new normal. And, of course, these emergencies always seem to come up just when you try to make plans. Here's the thing. When someone is invested in you, they prioritize you. They make time for you, even when life is chaotic. But if she's always busy, always booked, and suddenly has no time for the relationship, it's a glaring red flag. It's not just that she's busy, it's that she's trying to create distance without saying the words. It's subtle, but it's real. At first, you might think it's nothing more than a hectic week or a crazy schedule. You tell yourself, "She's working hard. I get it. It's just temporary." But then it happens again, and again. Week after week, you find yourself on the back burner, while she's off doing whatever it is that keeps her too busy to spend time with you. Here's where it gets tricky. She doesn't have to tell you she's lost interest. She just lets her actions speak for her. And she doesn't even have to be upfront about it. Her busy schedule is a great cover, because you can't really argue with work or commitments. Who's going to accuse her of cheating when she's been working late? But here's where the plot thickens. Have you noticed that these emergency meetings or late nights never seem to interfere with her social life? She still finds time to meet up with friends, go to events, or make spontaneous plans. Funny how she can find time for everything except you. And what happens when you ask about it? You get the same old responses. "I'm just overwhelmed," or "I really need this time for myself." It's not that she doesn't love you. Oh no, it's that she's been mentally checked out, and now she's keeping herself busy with other people. So, what's going on behind those meetings, those late nights? You're about to find out. The next sign you need to look out for. It's even more telling, and it'll make everything you've seen so far fall into place. Stay tuned. Behavior 4, the new best friend. The classic new best friend scenario. Out of nowhere, she's talking about this guy, someone you've never met, never even heard of before. At first, it might seem innocent enough. She mentions him casually, saying he's just a work friend or a guy from her yoga class. But the more she talks about him, the more you start to feel uncomfortable. There's a spark in her eyes when she mentions his name, something that wasn't there when she talked about other friends. And then suddenly, she's hanging out with him all the time. How many times has she told you she's going out with this new friend? At first, it's a random dinner or drink, something she assures you is no big deal. But then, it becomes a regular thing. A girls' night out that you're never invited to. A casual catch-up that always seems to end late, and yet, you're never included. You try to stay calm, tell yourself it's fine, but something about it doesn't sit right with you. Why does she need to see him so often? Why is she so insistent on keeping their plans private? And here's the kicker. When you ask about him, the answer is always the same. He's just a friend. She tells you you're overreacting, that you shouldn't be jealous. But listen, jealousy isn't the problem. The problem is the fact that she's prioritizing someone else over you. She's spending more emotional energy on this friend than she is on you. And even worse, she's defending him as though he's the most important person in her life. When a woman starts defending someone else like that, especially when you express discomfort, it's not just about a friendship anymore. It's about emotional investment. She's already given him a piece of herself. You might feel a sense of betrayal creeping up, but here's the thing. The red flags don't stop here. She could be so far gone emotionally that she doesn't even realize what's happening. This is the kind of behavior that slowly erodes the foundation of your relationship. It starts with one mention of a new friend, and before you know it, she's planning weekends away with him, spending more time with him than with you, and all the while, you're left in the dust, wondering how you ended up in this position. But it gets even worse. What happens when she refuses to let go of this friend, even after you've made it clear that it's making you uncomfortable? When she refuses to sacrifice her friendship for the sake of your relationship, things take a much darker turn. I'll reveal why in the next part. Behavior 5. Her absence. During connection, emotional and physical. Something's changed in the way she interacts with you. Her kisses aren't as warm. The hugs feel like they're just a quick formality. The closeness that once came so naturally, that spark you used to share, now feels forced, like she's just going through the motions. And while you might think it's just a temporary phase, or maybe it's something to do with her stress, deep down, you know this is different. This isn't just about physical distance, it's emotional too. She's checked out, and you can feel it. If you're paying attention, you'll notice this shift in small ways. She used to initiate affection, a random kiss when you least expected it, a touch on the back when you were sitting close. But now, it's like you're the one doing all the work. You try to reach for her, and she pulls away. She's too tired, too distracted, or too busy to give you the kind of attention you once shared. And when you ask, she says, "I'm just not in the mood," or "I've got a lot on my mind," leaving you with an excuse but no real answers. It's not just the physical connection. There's a distance that's forming emotionally as well. You can sense it when you try to talk to her about something important. She's distracted, disinterested, or simply not engaging in the way she once did. Conversations that used to flow easily now feel stiff, like she's barely listening. Her mind is elsewhere, and unfortunately, it's not on you. This kind of distance doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow build, a gradual withdrawal from closeness, both physical and emotional. When you try to talk about it, she brushes you off. Maybe she'll tell you it's work or stress, or maybe even that you've been too demanding. But you know better. Her disinterest in connection isn't about your actions. It's about where her heart is. Somewhere else, with someone else. And here's the worst part. She's still with you. She still says she loves you, still spends time with you, but the affection is gone. You're left feeling like you're sharing space with a stranger, trying to fill a void that someone else is already occupying. The cold truth is, you're getting the leftovers of a woman who's already emotionally invested somewhere else. But this betrayal, it's only the beginning. The next sign is far more damaging, and it'll leave you questioning everything. Are you ready for what's next? Stay tuned. Behavior 6. The alibis, always working late, always out. You've probably heard the excuses before. I'm working late. I had to meet with a client. I went out with some old friends. At first, you try to be understanding. Work can get busy. People have commitments. But the more it happens, the more you start to feel a pit in your stomach. These alibis become a regular part of your relationship, and each time you hear them, something inside you starts to scream that it's not right. Let's be honest, everyone has late nights at work now and then. But when it becomes a routine, when it happens week after week, you have to ask yourself, what's really going on? Why does her work always seem to run over, but she somehow still has time for everyone else? Why is it that the only time you can't get a hold of her is when she's out with a friend or working on something you never seem to know about? The pieces don't add up. Have you ever tried to call her late at night when she's working? And yet, her phone rings once, twice, then straight to voicemail. When she finally picks up, there's a sharp edge to her voice. "I told you, I'm busy." You're left to wonder, why does everything become urgent only when she's out of your reach? And it's not just the phone calls. Have you noticed how she starts making plans that exclude you more and more? Her friends, her colleagues, suddenly, they're the ones she's spending the majority of her time with. And when you ask her about it, the excuses flow like clockwork. It's just a work event. You wouldn't have enjoyed it anyway. But something in your gut tells you this is more than just harmless socializing or an overloaded work schedule. It's the subtle changes that get you. Her friends are suddenly more important than the time you used to spend together. And when you ask why she can't be home for dinner, she says, "I'll be late, but I'll make it up to you." But when she comes back, she's distant. There's no apology, no genuine remorse for breaking the plan. And here's where it gets really unsettling. Have you noticed that the more these work excuses pile up, the more defensive she gets when you question her? The guilt trips, the accusations, the sudden sharpness in her tone, it's all designed to make you feel like you're in the wrong for even asking. You're the one who's being controlling, paranoid, or unreasonable. But hold on, because things are about to get even more complicated. The real kicker is what happens when these alibis start to unravel. It's not just about her being out late or hiding her whereabouts. It's what's behind those excuses. And trust me, the truth you're about to uncover will shock you. Stay tuned for the next part. Behavior 7, the final weapon, indifference and emotional distance. This one is the hardest to swallow. At first, it's subtle. She starts pulling away, not physically but emotionally. The fights become less frequent, but so do the moments of connection. The warm, caring conversations are replaced by a cold indifference that's even more painful. You ask her where she's been, and she gives you nothing but a shrug. No more arguments, no more heated exchanges, just silence. She's checked out emotionally, and that's 100 times worse than her picking a fight. Have you ever caught yourself asking, what happened to us? You used to be her priority, the one she'd run to after a long day. But now, she doesn't need you. She's perfectly fine in her own world, existing alongside you but without truly being with you. And it hurts, more than any fight or any harsh word ever could. You're not fighting anymore because she's no longer invested enough to argue with you. She's emotionally gone, but she hasn't physically left. And that's the true heartbreak. But here's the real kicker. You start to realize that it's not about you. The problem isn't something you've done wrong. It's that she's emotionally checked out of the relationship. She's already given her energy, her time, her affection to someone else. You're not the one she's running to for comfort anymore, and you certainly aren't the first person she turns to when something goes wrong. That spot has been filled by someone else. So she keeps up the act. She still says the words, "I love you," but there's nothing behind them anymore. It's just a rote part of the routine, the habit of saying the right things without any feeling behind them. Have you noticed the disconnect in her eyes when she says it? It's like she's reciting a line from a script, and deep down, you know it's not real. She's just trying to make things easier for herself. This silence, this emotional absence, is one of the most damaging things she can do. She's making you feel like you're the problem, making you question your worth, when the reality is she's already moved on emotionally. And that's far more destructive than any affair could ever be. See you in the next video.